Hi everybody, it's me, GhostCritic. Welcome to my Friday comic book review video. This week, there was a lot missing. Had a lot of comic books, but it just didn't live up to expectations. I was disappointed with a lot of my books this week. And obviously I'll get on to that as we go through my stack that I picked up on Wednesday. If you've already seen my Wednesday pull list video, you'll know what I picked up, so you may be a little shocked at what I say about a few things. I'm going to kick off, it's an old one, it's been out for a month, but I managed to finally get a copy of Rumble issue 2. I'm not going to speak too much about this. I don't know what I would have said anyway, because this is a weird comic. It's like you've been thrown into the middle of a storyline and I haven't a clue what's going on. It looks gorgeous, there's no denying that. It kind of makes me feel, if you're like into your anime, especially the much older stuff, it kind of feels like the Cowboy Bebop movies, animated movies. It's got that kind of Asian, Eastern kind of feel to it. And it's just batshit crazy. I'm going to see if I can find an issue 3 because I think it's already out. My comic book store isn't ordering this unless you put it on your pull list. So I'm just going to have to keep my eye out for it when I'm wandering around different towns. So on to this week's comics that came out. We have, again, at the bottom of the pile, I'm afraid, Batman Eternal, and it's issue number 46. Quite a cool looking cover, J-Lee cover, with Ra's al Ghul on here. And I'm just, there is a lot wrong with this. And predominantly, I just feel a little dumb now. I feel like I should know, or there have been clues that have been given to who it is that is the big bad, because again, it does not look like it is Ra's al Ghul, which it kind of intrigues me a little in the sense that who is above Ra's al Ghul? Who has got this influence that giving these invitations out to all these kind of rogues gallery of villains of Batman, that they would do his or her bidding. Because in kind of Batman's rogues gallery, I see Ra's al Ghul being, you know, top echelon kind of nemesis of Batman. And clearly doesn't look like it's him, so it's another little red herring. But there are bits in here that I feel like they are big clues as to who it is, and especially that last panel, I don't know what it is about it, but with Poison Ivy, and she grew those plants, those flowers, and they've all got that kind of ghoulish red mask on it. And I've scratched my head and I'm just like, is this a big major clue on who's behind it? What annoys me is that because this is the DC New 52, and I have a feeling this is probably a character that is back pre the New 52. This is like a character that goes way back with Batman. And those who have only just started reading Batman because of the New 52, this will come as a huge surprise. And that annoys me because we are not in that pre-52 universe anymore. And it's always been like, I mean, I'm not that obsessed with it, but you know, this was meant to be kind of a carte blanche. This is a new universe, we're going to do new different things. But of course, the likes of Batman and to some extent Superman, Green Lantern, they all got kind of a wildcard pass that we can keep stuff that happened in the pre-52 still within our new 52 continuity. And it annoys me because it's not fair. It's not fair on the reader, because I'm sure there are some new people to the New 52 who, you know, in essence, this book is a mystery. Who is behind it? And there has got to be, along the way, certain clues for your audience, your readership, to pick up. But if they've only got, like, the last 3 years' knowledge of DC, and it's someone else not within that New 52, it's just a reveal. It's not a, oh, this happened so many issues ago, and it links to this. It annoys me a little bit. I'm not losing sleep over it. The artwork on here is terrible. There are way too many artists in this book. I feel like this ending is getting rushed, and they're trying desperately to keep to their weekly solicitation, and that is harming the artwork. And obviously they're having to get lots of different artists drawing just 2 or 3 pages of just one issue. Some of the art in here is just terrible. It starts off awful. I don't know. I haven't even bothered trying to figure out who it is for each page. And there is some artwork in here that's just okay. Another deeply disappointing issue of Batman Eternal. Straczynski wraps up his maxi series of The Twilight Zone with issue 12, and again, I'm a little bit disappointed in this. We were told that all these 3 story arcs were all going to in some way converge and be linked by the time this final issue came out. And I think what Straczynski has done is actually cheat a little. This is the end story of our investigator, the down-on-the-luck guy, the guy who, you know, has so much bad luck, has never done anything meaningful with his life, and he is getting the opportunity to make something of himself. And I knew it. I knew as soon as we went back in time, we had this killing of this very prominent person, this murder. I knew it. This guy was going to take his place, and that would give his life meaning, give this other guy the opportunity that to make the world a better place. And because that guy survived, it affected the people from the previous stories. So I felt in a way it was a little bit of a cheat ending, because they didn't really converge, they didn't really link up. It took this last character to die and for someone else to continue to live, to make the other characters' lives better. Grant Morrison's Multiversity. This time we have Mastermen, and I have to again say the word disappointed. This was the first of this series that I've not felt there is anything incredibly, not deep, but I'm not missing out on anything. This isn't particularly wrapped up in the DC Universe lore. Yes, it plays on a lot of great stuff that DC did way back in the past. I think I've heard mention, I think it was Matt, you know, that DC back in the day played a lot on the fact of you know, the war that was going on, the Second World War, the use of Hitler. Marvel did it as well. But that wasn't used to its fullest, I didn't think. And this, to me, is just a straight out, what if the Justice League were Nazis, basically. There's no real subtlety to it. You kind of get right at the very beginning this disembodied voice narrating. You think it's one person and it ends up being another. But you kind of get who it is halfway through, who is going to betray the League, because, you know, they're not sure that what the League are doing is actually the right thing to do. As for Jim Lee's artwork, it's Jim Lee's artwork. That he's not pushing any huge boundaries here. He's doing what he's good at. It's certainly not bad, it's certainly not ugly art. It is what Jim Lee is known for doing, and that is like his superhero work. Issue 4 of Autumn Lands, Tooth and Claw from Image came out this week. And of the 4 issues that have come out, I have to say I felt this was the weakest. But why was that? Well, the story really didn't progress very much. We still have a lot of our characters doing exactly the same thing as they have been since their floating city crashed. You have the big pompous owl still kind of gathering everything he possibly can material-wise, making himself comfortable, not really being part of the community, the team. And then we have on the other side, we have the female wild boar who is trying to keep the community safe, who is looking for ways to ensure their safety. And then we have the lady fox, who still is manipulating every single person around her. The only thing that kind of does progress a little, and I knew it would, is our cover star here, Dunstan the Terrier. He tries to follow our human champion, but eventually you get this kind of bonding session happening between the two characters as they go out to explore the surrounding area, to find out places for them to be better prepared for attacks, and the places for there to be water and food for them to use. They come across the buffaloes, the kind of the wildebeest, I think they're buffaloes, their encampment. But as a whole, the story didn't really progress very far. And I don't know what it was about the artwork this week. It's still the same team, no one's different here, but it felt very rushed. It didn't have that kind of finesse that it has had for the last few issues, whether they're struggling to keep up with a monthly publication. But it felt very heavy-handed. There was, like I said, there was no finesse to it. That's all I can think of. That it felt very heavy strokes in the artwork, very heavily inked in parts, and it did kind of take me out of it a bit. I'm clearly going to keep reading this because I think it is going to improve. It's a kind of genre of storytelling that I enjoy, and I just hope it doesn't fall foul of, you know, trying to keep up with a monthly solicitation. Goners issue number 5 again from Image, and as much fun as I'm still having with this, I'm still enjoying it a great deal. I was incredibly confused at what the hell was going on in this issue. A lot happened, there was a lot of action, there was a lot of exposition, there was a lot of crazy characters. We have another big cliffhanger at the end. Are we going to get another death? There's like this surprise revelation about the young brother, and it was a little bit too much, chaotic. The storytelling doesn't have to be linear, but I just felt the story was kind of all over the place. I still enjoyed it. I know it's not hugely popular kind of art style, but I still love the over-the-top kind of cartooniness of it. There is some great artwork here, especially in the detail of these ridiculously bizarre mythical type creatures that I'm enjoying. Just bring it down a level, guys, just bring it down a level. We have the penultimate issue of Fables, issue 149, and here we have the kind of conclusion of this kind of flashback we had of Rose and Snow's mother, and the whole sharing of power, the curse of the family name, how hard her mother tried not to bear children, so she could like stop this family curse from continuing. She does fall in love with a passing stranger, and although she tells him that she doesn't want to have children, she doesn't want to have children because of this curse. They say, well, we'll just do it once, and then she thinks, well, if I only have one child, we'll stop it there, and then the curse, you know, there won't be that awful curse of having to kill all the siblings. But of course she has twins, Snow and Rose. So that kind of wraps that all up, and we are now going to head into the big battle. Rose has all this knowledge that Snow doesn't have, so she feels at a certain advantage because through her own admission she knows that Snow is the better fighter, the better tactician, but we will see. Rose is coming across as kind of like the evil, the bad person here. But knowing Bill Willingham, he will twist that all around, and we'll have what I hope will be an epic ending to a just fantastic Vertigo series. Finally, for this video, don't forget my pick of the week will come out separately. I have Bitch Planet issue 3, and this is one of the issues that they've already let us know will happen very often, where the normal artist will take a break and then they will do a kind of one-shot story about the characters that we've met or will meet. And this is the, as it says on the front, the secret origin of Pennyroll. I have to say, first of all, the cover on this and all the rest of the issues have been fantastic. I love this kind of retro 70s pulp movie type poster effect that they do on the covers of these. I think they're fantastic. The story inside, to be fair, is actually quite straightforward, and maybe not so fair is it's pretty obvious what the twist at the end is. Penrose is our larger lady who doesn't care. We see her as a child growing up with her mother in the kitchen cooking, being happy with herself, not wanting to change, and we see this throughout her life, and this is told through a kind of a virtual court scene where Penny is put in front of a kind of wall of TV screens that each have a male judge and jury, so to speak, in each of the TVs, and they come across as if they're trying to help Penny. They want her to be better than she is, and of course the better that she is, the more compliant that she will be. And they have this kind of scientific gizmo that they attach to her head that can read her thoughts, and the idea is that once they look into her head, they can project an image of what she really wants to look like, what her ideal of herself is. So as I say, we see different portions of her life and how she basically rebels and challenges the societal norms that we have in this Bitch Planet universe. And of course it gets her in hot water, and eventually, you know, we know she is shipped off to Bitch Planet. The twist, of course, stop the video now if you've not read this and don't want to know, but I think it really is so obvious. What happens is that when the image comes up on the screen, the mirror, it is merely her reflection. She is so happy. She believes that she is being her perfect self. The kind of the moral, the message there is a little heavy-handed, and doesn't have the kind of subtlety that I would have thought we would have had from a title such as Bitch Planet. But still, it was a great read. I am enjoying Bitch Planet for for the whole kind of the retro sci-fi-ness of it, and just kind of putting aside the issues of feminism and compliancy and all that comes round with Bitch Planet. Still a great comic. I'd recommend it for anyone who wants to read a good sci-fi comic. This would be right up your street. So there are my thoughts and opinions on the comics I pulled this week. Not an incredibly exciting week for me. Let me know if you had a differing view of the comics that I had. You might have thought, you know, the issues that you read, that I read as well, were absolutely brilliant. Let me know why you thought those were better. What did I miss? Someone please explain what is going on in Batman Eternal. Spoil it for me, I don't care. I feel as desperate as Batman is at the moment, not knowing who the actual person is behind it all. It's driving me crazy. So that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so you won't miss out on any more of my videos. Give this a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, you know, chuck a few comments down there and I'll do my best to reply to all of them. Until next week, thank you very much. Bye bye.